Hi everyone, it's Lindenherz. I want to share with you one of my recent purchases. I guess I got this deck or I purchased this deck 2 weeks ago or so. And it was quite an impulse buy, to be honest. I was in our local metaphysical bookshop in the city center here where I live, and just went by the shelves where they keep the oracle and tarot decks. And as ever, I was a bit, I was a bit bored because there is such a lack of variety that I see there. But I guess when I was there was one new thing that they added. It was the Heindel Tarot, which was quite interesting. But 30 euros, I thought, no, no, just for the deck, and no, 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 no. Maybe later. But yeah. I was eager to buy something when I was there and looked at the Enchanted map by Baron-Reid again. I looked at this deck also in another, more common bookshop in the metaphysical section, and also had the bigger book in my hand. And I thought, okay, should I buy both? And then I thought, no, maybe later. And yeah, now I ended up with this one, and I'm quite it was quite a quite good thing to see that this is at least one of the few things that they publish in German. I should say maybe there is just a lack of variety of German translated tarot and oracle decks, maybe, because I recently stumbled over the Housewife's Tarot in German, the German edition, and I found out that this deck is already published or was already published in 2013. So, yeah, what should I say? There is just not very much variety, always the same things. You always find Smith Waite, and you always find Thoth, and you always find certain angel decks, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but I gave this a try. I thought maybe that I would buy the Wisdom of the Oracle first, which is also a Baron-Reid deck, and also by the same artist, which I try to figure out who it is. It's an Italian woman, I guess. And the thing is, the Germans don't do it better. So here you can't find the artist, also can't find the artist on the deck. So I try to figure it out in the book that comes with it, which is quite a good, proper book. I try to figure out who it is. Not even in this title it is written. Where is she? Let's see off camera. This is really also not a good thing. Here, Jenna della Grottaglia. Ooh. Maldonado. Okay, Jenna. Sorry. This is also not a good thing that you can find it only here. I try to figure out. I thought I saw the artist's name also in much bigger. No, there is some information at least. Born in New York, lives with her family in North California, and so on and so forth. Plus an a website of her, at least, but also not good, to be honest. It's at least, what should I say? It's the art that we are looking at. So this is a big issue also for me, because, okay, The authors maybe are channeling the messages, but we are looking at the art first. This is what we are drawing, what we as readers or tarot and oracle lovers are drawn to. So, what should I say? So, this is a gilded deck, quite heavily gilded. I'm not quite sure. I guess it's also gilded in the English version. I know the Wisdom of the Oracle is gilded. These are the backs, compasses, compasses. Yeah. I'm not so fond of the borders, but anyway. The thing is, I had to replace this deck because although it was shrink wrapped, there was some damages to the box, to the first box I purchased, and that it left some damages on the cards, and was not so good. So I had to go back and get another deck, but it was no problem. But the thing is that I'm not sure that this box is so tight. When I try to put them in, it's very hard to get them out. So I leave it mostly like this, so it's easier, or leave them completely out of the box. Yeah, so let's start. I will every now and then look at the guidebook because I wrote the English titles on top of the pages. Mostly it's 101 translation, but sometimes there are some changes, and I have to look that up so you know which card it is. But I guess a lot of you will know this deck. It is a deck which was originally published in 2012, so it's 2011, 2011. So 2012 was the releasing date or the publishing date here in Germany. So before I start, good booklet. You get a bit information about how to work with the cards, what the purpose of these cards are, how to read them, proper questions to ask, and there are also sample readings in this book. How to read with 6 cards and so on and so forth, and then it gets into the description of the cards, little white, black and white depiction of it, little kind of quote, and how the upright meanings are, and the reversed meaning. Sometimes you find quite a lot of text, not always. There are sometimes quite short also. It's not always the same. So here it's a bit less. It depends on the card. Here it's even more less. So a good book, a good helping one. And let's start with the cards. I was quite surprised by this deck. Although I haven't worked with it for a long time, I quite like it. And this is a total surprise to me because I'm not a fan of photo collage decks. So I thought so. But when I first saw the Wisdom of the Oracle, I was quite stunned how beautiful this was done. And also this one is quite beautiful. Although you can, from what I saw from the Wisdom of the Oracle, you can certainly see there's some progression in the artist's evolution, so to speak. So we start with one of my most favorite pictures here with the bone collector. And I love her face. Can I just tell? I love this. There's the sense of wisdom and also a good sense of humor. And I like that. I really like that. This is a stunning card. So we have the Gentle Gardener. So there are also a lot of fairies. And it's a quite feminine deck, to be honest. I guess in one of Kelly Fitzgerald's chat on one of the weekends, we had the discussion on neutral oracle decks, and I pulled this one out and counted. And to be honest, there are only 2 men in this deck. This is a bit, yeah, not a good result, to be honest. So here we have one of the men, and the funny thing is, I know this guy. Okay, of course not personally, but this guy has a Deviant account, and I guess he has a Deviant account at least. I know there are certain pictures of him posing in different kinds of costumes. It's one of those accounts which you would call free resources or free stock photos or something like that. And so artists can take the pictures of him and yeah, do something like this, for instance. And I'm not quite sure. I guess I have seen this guy also in another tarot deck. I'm not quite sure if it was the Wizard's Tarot. I'm not quite sure, but he has a certain Anthony Hopkins vibe to him. He looks a bit like Anthony Hopkins in Thor. So is Odin. So we have the Wizard of Awareness is the name of the card. I hope you can see it properly. So we have the Spirit of the Place, again, fairy energy. We have the Goblins. Here it is called only Goblin or Kobold, but we certainly see there are some more. Here is one, and there are the glowing eyes. And this deck is basically, it's quite interesting. You have the second title. This is translated something like Wisdom Cards of the Soul. So this is kind of like a map you use for as a kind of guidance for your inner soul landscape. And I guess the book is the thicker book that you can get separately is getting more into detail with this concept. But here you use these cards as some kind of inner guidance in your inner landscapes. And I find it really wonderful. So here we have to look up. I guess it was Into the... Oh no, I remember. Into the Unknown, which is here translated into Ungewissheit, which means uncertainty. So a bit different. This I have to look up. This is... In German it's Vereinigung, and in English it's Come Together. Vereinigung means also unity. I guess there are another pair of giraffes here. Giraffe? I don't know. Giraffe. The Field of Storms or Fields of Storm. Sometimes I think a bit about like when I see these landscapes, I think about Alice in Wonderland or so. So this is, in English it was called Rock Bottom, and we call it here Der Tiefpunkt, which is called Low Point, or would translate as Low Point. This looks interesting. Balancing Act, I guess it was. 11. Again, women. Another kind of fairy creature here. Slow and Steady, I guess, was the English title. So, Solitude, Einsamkeit, the Tower. Has some certain Lenormand qualities, I guess, in terms of the meaning. I guess this was called in English Ride the Wave, and when you look closer at the top, there is also a fairy here. There are lots of fairies. This was quite an interesting one. We call it here independence, and it had a total different title. It was One Ring Circus. Okay, totally different. This is Rescue, I guess. Yeah, Rescue. Look at this fellow here and the balloon. So here we have Schattenwelt, which they translated into Ghostlands. We would call it Schattenwelt, would we translate in English into Shadow World or Shadowscapes. Yeah. The Magic Stream. I think they are quite beautifully done. Although you get that this is a photo manipulated deck, but it's in a way that feels more kind of an illustration rather than too collagey. Sometimes some things are sticking on the surface on certain pictures, and it looks like it's just stuck and it's not well blended and so on. Sometimes you can get the feeling here with this deck, not always. Maybe with this one a bit, just a tiny bit, but mostly it's beautifully done. Okay, this was here. We call it Höhenflug. It was, I guess it was flying in English. Fields of Dreams or Field of Dreams. A lot of fairies here again. And another favorite of mine. Die innere Zielsetzung, which was just simply intention in English. Okay, Intention. It would be the same word, so I'm not quite sure why they didn't do that. Anyway, but there is a barn owl. Ha! The Golden Palace. I guess it was called Stuck in the Mud. In the Swamp, this is called in German. Im Sumpf. This bird here. At least he has some, support. Although this little birdie wouldn't be able to help him, but maybe talk him out. Metamorphosis. So it looks crazy. These flamingos. I guess it's the same name in English. And we have here another symbol for metamorphosis. This butterfly there, coming from its chrysalis. How this was called? We call it Winterschlaf, and Winterschlaf in English means hibernation, but this one is deep freeze in English. Winterschlaf. Okay, hibernation, of course, is not the literal translation. Winterschlaf means, you could guess it, winter sleep, if you would translate it 101. Home, this is called. And there is again a barn owl. Look at that. Yeah, love that. And there are also some fairies again. If you can see, there is some fairy here. Yeah. Okay, moving on, or what was it called? 28, it was called movement. Okay, just simply movement. This is something you also find in the Wisdom of the Oracle, these kind of animals with certain landscapes or buildings on top, which is quite interesting. So you have to carry something when you want to move on, but at least it's manageable. This was called, just look at it again. This was called, here it is called Neues Leben, Coming to Life. Neues Leben. Or New Life. This is choice. I guess it's simply could... Oh, no. No, making a choice. Just focus, please, here. Making a choice. The desert, I guess. This is called... I guess I will have to... Dry desert. Dry desert. In the desert or in der Wüste. Magic prayer. How was it called? Summit of Joy? Try to remember. Peaks of Joy. Okay. Peaks of Joy. And certainly she is. And there's another butterfly. Spark. This is just called in English. We call it der schöpferische Funke. The creative spark. Basically. This looks crazy. She's looking like her bow is firing some flames. Looks interesting. Here we have education, which we call here simply learning or lernen. Commitment. Cleaning home or so? House puts? Strange figures sometimes. This is quite interesting. I love the English title. The English title is Healing the Ouch, which is just sweet and cute. We just call it Heilung or healing. Healing the Ouch. Heile das Ouch. And it's a fox. Now I have to look this one up. This was protecting treasure. A lot of details going on here. I'm not quite sure if I can capture it here very well. Führungsqualität was follow the leader. Take me to your leader. This little duckling here. Unexpected guests, which sounds in German a bit more positive. I'm not sure. Unexpected in English sounds a bit more. It could be not, possibly not welcome. We call it unverhofft, which is quite. You can't translate it literally, but there is some sense of hope inside the world. Not unexpected, but unverhofft. We have also a saying, unverhofft kommt oft, which is something very positive. Things that we are sometimes dare not to hope for certainly come to pass. So, yeah. And again, my dog in the background, and I just have to look at this here. The wide open. This reminds me of, I'm not sure from by whom the song was. Into the great wide open, into the skies of blue. This is quite fitting here for Rebel Without a Clue. I guess this was the title. I'm not quite sure, but maybe it was also just a part of the line. So this is simply details here, and it was details in English. Clarity, you can see here. And this little mouse here with this wizard's head. Little wizard mouse. Finding some clarity. Strength. Very elegant and very acrobatic. Yeah. This we called, we called Kummer, the next one, but it's, Kummer is translated into sorrow, but this is actually called Sad Embrace. Still beautiful. So here we have a bit similar pose. This is Trennung, coming apart. It's called in English. So here we have the sacred pond, der heilige Teich. The wishing well. Look at this jester's masks that they are flying. This is quite interesting. The talisman. And my dog again. She's bored. When she's doing these kind of noises, she wants to play. You have to wait a bit. Then she gets annoyed. This is the compass. I guess this is moonlight. Again, a bit of fairy. The hourglass. And there we see an owl. Look at this one. He was called the magical map shifter, which is a bit, I'm not sure if I like this translation. Der magische Kartenverwandler. Sounds a bit, der magische Kartenwandler, maybe. I'm not sure. Sometimes English sounds like a bit more. Sometimes German can, be a pain in the beep. Not always, but sometimes. And here we have listen. And here, look at this little one here, this robin. And another robin here. And the last one is encouragement. Yeah. So this was the Enchanted map. I used this deck already with my new card draws for my year ahead spread for additional cards for the month of May. Because I have the Tower card for this month. I thought, okay, I need a bit more guidance. I draw 2 additional tarot cards to get more clarity, and I also drew, I guess I drew 1 or 2 cards. I'm not quite sure. I will share it in another video with you. But it was very, very beautifully. So this deck works quite beautifully with other ones, with other decks. Seems to like working with other tarot decks. I'm quite surprised. I'm really quite surprised. Wasn't sure how much I would like it, but I'm actually quite pleased with it. And I guess I will get the Wisdom of the Oracle also. Sadly, this second Colette Baron-Reid deck isn't translated in German, so into German. So anyway, the majority of my decks are in English anyway, so whatever. I will read it in English. Yeah, so I hope you liked this. In this case, it was a little walkthrough, just half an hour. Wow, I'm getting better. So I wish you a wonderful day or a peaceful night. We'll see us very soon. Many blessings. Bye.